So yesterday's class, we started creating one application. Okay, so we understood there will be two types of applications, that is framework and implementation, right? Yesterday we started creating one framework application. For that, first what we have done, we are supposed to log in into Pega platform. That is with master credentials, you logged in into Pega platform, and there you created new application, and then you selected something like build from scratch. Okay, and then you selected something like theme also. So depending upon the what version you are using, themes will be changing out. Okay, so total there will be like 4 themes applicable. What are those? Quickly tell me, anyone? Chapale.
UI
Theme Cosmos,
Cosmos, Theme Cosmos,
Cosmos means
yeah,
React, Constellation.
Constellation UI,
React, and then Constellation.
Constellation UI.
Okay, so these are all the themes applicable. And these two are like more or less same. This is fully deprecated. You will not see UI kit related projects anymore. Hardly 1 or 2% scenarios is what you are seeing today. So 90% today we are still on theme Cosmos. Maybe 10% is on Constellation. In future it will be vice versa. Okay, we are trying to learn both the things. So yesterday we have selected something as theme Cosmos. After which it is asking for application name. Okay, I think we have given something as SCP framework, right? And there it is mandatory, more or less mandatory for you to go for advanced configuration. In advanced configuration, you have to choose what should be the type of application and what should be the organization name, and if required, what should be the application ID also. Okay, so this is almost mandatory. This is almost mandatory. And if you are like missing this one application will be created with some dummy settings, which is very difficult for you to revert it. Okay, if you have done any mistake in any of these things, no doubt you may have to leave that application completely, and you have to do again from beginning, might be with a different name. So this is what we have seen. And after you have modified this, and maybe once an application is created, it is asking us to create operator ID. And this operator ID should be in email format only initially. Okay, this being like for first time, operator ID should be in email format. And once we log in with that operator ID, we can create n number of other operator IDs. It can be of different format. So when you are creating an operator ID, generally 4 roles will be applicable. But yesterday we have seen only one role, that is author role. Okay, during application creation for an operator ID, only one author role will be applicable. Maybe if it is having user role or manager role also displayed there. So if I log in, it will take me to user portal. From there, further development is not possible. And it will take to manager portal. From there, further development is not possible. That is where these 2 roles will never be applicable. So I have given author role and I clicked on add button, if I remember. Okay, so this is our yesterday's application. And I think we clicked on add button. So after we clicking on add button, so we have seen some operator ID and password generated. So this design, you're seeing it from 8th version only. Okay, after you clicking on this, you can see some random password generated, right? This is from 8th version only. So what happened in the past versions? In the past version, it did not generate any random number like this. So this segment will not be visible in the past versions. So it will say like operator ID created for you. That's it. Okay, so whatever the ID you gave here with that, it will be created. Then what about password? So for every one of us, password by default will be like rules. For every one of us, in the older versions, it will be as rules. Even today, even today, after you joining one company, maybe if your manager is having almost like 15 years or well experienced guy, so they might still have password as rules because it got habituated in that way. So they might change it, not a problem. So after you joining company, you will listen to the word rules as password in multiple scenarios. Consider if we all are part of development team, we will be accessing one database, right? So this is something common for more than one developer or one operator. So there will be common password to be maintained. So that will be with the name as rules. So mostly you'll come across password as rules in most of the scenarios. But from 8th version onwards, that is from Infinity version onwards, so they are trying to make something more secure. They are giving us one random number like this. One random number like this. Okay, so whenever we clicked on this add button, what might happen? Consider this as our operators table. One new record must be inserted here, right? One new record must be inserted and it will show some random password here. Okay, and as I told you yesterday, for most of you, you are a developer, no doubt in it. For most of you, our main database access might not be provided. So, Pega data is our database, right? Within which you'll see hundreds of tables. Okay, so you as a developer to fix any small defect, you should access this, you should access a particular table, you should check and you should fix it. That is what our expectation. But reality is like Pega data related access, you need not to be given separately. You need not ask your manager for installing Oracle. As I told you in the real time, to access this Pega data, few projects they'll use Oracle as the platform, or maybe Microsoft SQL, or MongoDB, or PG admin for whatever it is. There will be different platforms to access this Pega data. So after you joining company, you can ask your manager about this Oracle installation. You should not ask for your Pega installation. You should never ask for Pega installation. But you can ask them what DB environment we are using. Are we still using PG admin 4 or are we using Oracle or Microsoft? This you can ask. Okay. And there you will get completely negative answers from your manager. So what are those negative answers? So he might say that we are using Oracle, or he might give you next steps how to install it also. So you directly cannot download it from Google. You cannot directly install it. So your network team, after you raising one request, they will install it for you based on your request. Okay, this is one thing. Maybe when you ask your manager about DB environment, what we are using, he might say like, I think it is Oracle. I don't know. I used it long back. Okay. Or he might say like, why is it necessary for you? So can't you do your task without this DB? So mostly you will be getting negative answers when you're talking about like this database part. So why this is negative? So don't we require this database access? We are developers to fix something without this DB access. How to do this? This you have to understand. As I told you yesterday, if you are a Pega developer accessing development studio, so this is our development studio, right? I think this is different application, not a matter. So once you access development studio, if you go to records, so most of the tables and its record information, we can see it here. Okay, under records tab, you can see n number of categorization. Okay, everything you can see. Suppose if I wanted to check for all the tables, whatever, all the operators, whatever I have, what we are maintaining, I can see it here. Or if you wanted to check for all the applications, whatever our database is having, I can click and I can check for this. I'm having these many applications in my database. And if I wanted to check for all the images what you created, so you can click on this. I can see these many images or any multimedia. So generally to look for all the images, I have to identify what is its table in the database. I should know how many records it is having, but you need not access this database at all. So instead you can access everything from our UI login itself. From our development studio access itself, you can access everything. So here, if you see this as one table in front end or in this UI part, you'll call it as a class. Okay, you don't know what is class still. So one table, you have to call it as a class, and records whatever you see in the table, you have to call it as instances. Okay, now I'll give you two statements. Both are same actually. First listen. So can you get all the records of PR operators table? You'll understand the statement, right? If I ask you to get all the records of this PR operators table, and can you get all the operator instances from its class? Both are same. Both are same. Okay, so for today we're understanding something about operators table name and its primary keys, and in its mirror kind of, this is purely its mirror image. So what is the class and nothing but table? What is the class related to PR operators table, and what are all the instances? This you have to know. Okay, yesterday we came across this statement also. So that is, if we click on this one, you will get all the operator instances, and you can open your own operator ID, and you can update the password and other stuff. Okay, so this is what happening in the real time today. And the past versions, every time it is to show it as rules only as the password. So far everyone clear, right? Yes, right, everyone following, right? Please confirm me.
Yes, Chandra.
Yes, Chandra.
Okay, now coming back here. Yesterday, in the same screen itself, we clicked on add button, right? After we adding one operator ID, maybe the respective role. Here we can see something author as the role. Whenever we clicked on add button, no doubt it is to be first maintained in our database table. So this database table mirror reflection is our front end class and its instances. Okay, fine. So on click of this, what might happen until, so there must be one SQL query executed for inserting a new record into this table. And under PY user identifier, you should see whatever you entered, that is fw@scb.com. And there might be some password as one column. And as I told you, access group will be there, which will be showing it as authors. And application name is something like SCB framework, SCB framework. So there will be a record. And now after this, what we are trying to do? So we are trying to open its operator instance and updated the password. Okay, I need not remember anything about random password. Even I can forget it, not a problem. And I can update my password. And I think I updated something to scb@123 or whatever. So here it will be updated, right? Okay, here it will be updated, no doubt. And if I'm trying to log in from here, if I'm trying to log in, so with my ID and password, so this is something, and scb@1234, this is my latest. If I'm trying to log in with this, it is taking me to change password screen. And that change password screen happening only for the first time, not every time. Now, if I log in, it will not show me change password screen. So only for the first time, why it is happening and so in the background, okay, so consider this as our main table, operators table. So PY user identifier as its column, and maybe access group as another column, and application name as one more thing. And there will be one important column with the name PY change password on next login. So there will be a column or heading kind of, just for our easy understanding, there will be one heading. And FW @scb.com, password as something like scb@123, and so and so. Here this value will be initially as true. Whenever I clicked on this, one record will be inserted, and here flag will be modified or inserted as true. Now, if I'm trying to log in with my ID and password, system should cross check whether this ID and the latest password is matching or not. Then it is not directly looking for the role. It is looking for whether this flag is true or not. If it is true, then it is taking me to change password screen. and with maybe 3 fields. And no doubt I have to enter the available password here, that is scb@123. And I'll update something like Chandra, and Chandra has the latest password. Now, if I click on change password button, I think yesterday you have seen change password button, if I'm not wrong. Okay, whenever we are clicking on change password button, what is happening? First thing, it is trying to run one more SQL query for updating the existing record, where password is updated to something like 1234, whatever I defined here, and this flag will be turned to false. This flag will be turned to false. Next, further, it will take me to development studio. That is what happening. Now, if I log off, and here I'll get the same login page. No doubt I have to enter this ID and the latest password. Now it will check this password flag is false. So it will not show you change password screen. It will directly take you to development studio. So this is what it is happening. Okay, now, so this flag is very, very important. Now what I'll try to do is, I'll try to log in with fw@scb.com. And if I log in, I'll not get change password screen. You know that. And I can open operator instances where I can see all the operator data from PR operators table. And I'm opening my own. I'm opening my own. And here in security, no doubt I can update password. And maybe if I'm trying to mark this, try to understand. If I'm trying to mark this, if I'm trying to save it. Now what I'll do is I'm trying to open different session. Okay, I'm trying to open incognito mode and I'm trying to access same Pega portal, and I'll try to log in with this existing password or existing ID. And if I click on login, now tell me, will I get change password screen or not? Yes, right?
Yeah.
So if I log in, will I get change password screen or not? Yes or no? Tell me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Chandra.
Yes,
Yes.
because of you marking this, you should get change password screen. Okay, and here, what I'll do is I'm trying to update it. Now, if I click on change password, what should happen? Background, my password will be updated and that flag must be updated to false. Okay, flag must be updated to false. And I'll come back here, I'll simply refresh. No doubt in my database table, it will be false, right? So this is blind reflection of database only. If I refresh, this must be turned to false, correct, right? Everyone agree with this? Understanding, right? So you should know what is the navigation to check for the respect to table related instances. Okay, so you'll get all the instances. So now I'm trying to open maybe my manager operator ID. I can open this. And if I'm trying to update manager password, suppose if you are manager and if I'm a team member, okay, I can access all the operator instances, no doubt. And I'm trying to open yours and I'm trying to update password. So if I'm trying to update password, it will not ask me for your current password. Something security breach is what we are looking, right? So you might be having something like Rahul as your password, and I don't require your current password. I can simply modify your password, no doubt in it. I can modify it and I can log in with your I can log in with your operator ID now. You cannot log in, you don't know your password. It will throw error for you. So I can log in with your password and I can do something like security related things also. So if I'm trying to delete few routes, okay, ultimately you will be the person to be questioned, right? Is this not somewhere security breach? Yes, right? So in that scenario, what you have to prove yourself is, so you will be logging in, or maybe you'll try to log in something different, or you'll ask maybe other team member to update the password further, and then you'll go to history. And there you will check the complete history of your operator ID when it is created. Maybe yesterday who has modified it. So you'll see something called save, right? Here it will show my own operator name. So Chandra has updated your password. That is what we can clearly understand. Okay, now they'll question me. So why did you change the password? What is the necessity? What extra changes you have done? everything can be tracked based on the history. Getting my point? Everything can be tracked based on the history. Now, what I'm trying to say here is in our Pega data. So Pega data is our database, correct? Pega data is our database. So where you'll see a table for operators, PR underscore operators is its table name. And this is your operator ID, and this might be your password where even I can change it. So here, if you wanted to check for the history of that, what we're trying to do, we're trying to click on this. I'm getting some history of your own operator ID, right? For this operator ID, I'm getting multiple again records kind of. So for one operator, there are like further multiple records. So how this is managed in your database table? So there is one record. For one record, there will be like one single instance kind of. But here in terms of history, I can see multiple, right? So there is like one more table maintained for every of your main table. So there will be one main table, you know that, and there will be one more table with the prefix as history. So PR underscore history underscore operators. This is one table. So for every of your main table, there will be one history table also. It's mandatory. And in this history table, for your operator ID alone, maybe Rahul, your operator ID, there will be n number of records. So this is when it got created. This is when it got updated. This is when it got like deleted. Everything you can see it from here. Okay, now again, same thing. You need not open this database. You need not struggle what is its table name. You need not struggle what is its history table name. Everything from UI, first you should know what is this class name. As I just told you, so if you are having a table, no doubt there will be a class in its front end. Don't think about what class is today itself. So there will be a class which is resembling its table and all the records which are resembling its instances. Similarly, you should know what is the class for this one, and you should check its respect to instances, nothing but your history data completely identified. So that is where you are seeing it from here. Got it right, every one of you following right?
Yes, Chandra.
Yes, right?
Yes, Chandra.
Okay.
Chandra,
Now,
one doubt, Chandra. How long this history will be maintained? Is it like some period of month it will be saved or
database is permanent.
permanent? Okay.
So you will see, maybe if your project is created from 2010, so the very first instance will be like 2010 there. It's
Okay.
permanent. Okay, it is permanent. Fine. So with this knowledge, I'll give you few real-time scenarios. So as of now, you understood something as like a developer, that too theoretically. Okay, now what might be the real-time scenarios based on this discussion? This you'll come to know. Okay, consider Rahul is one bank manager. He's part of Citibank. He don't know anything about Pega. He's like a bank manager. And under Rahul, there are almost like 10 members, 10 clerks, bank clerks. Okay, and all these 10 members are working on a secured project called GST. Okay, GST is one secured project. And maybe we all are part of TCS and working for this production support. Okay, working for this prod support. Now, Rahul, maybe our project is started on January 1st. This GST project started on January 1st, and it will be available maybe till next 14 days only. Okay, next 14 days only. And Rahul, what he's dropping an email to you, your technical guy, what he's dropping is all the 10 members who are logging in, they are supposed to update their passwords daily. Okay, suppose maybe this is like person number one. Okay, maybe consider I'm like bank clerk. So January 1st, maybe at morning 9 o'clock, I'll log in my bank portal. So no doubt it will ask for my username and password. I'll log in and there I'll continue all my transactions. And next day, January 2nd, at what time I might log in? Maybe morning 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or afternoon shift, whatever it is. At whatever the time I'm trying to log in, no doubt it will ask for my username and password. Whatever I entered yesterday, same thing I'll enter today. But now it has to take me to change password screen. Forcefully, I have to change my password. And that latest password should be accessible for the whole day. In between, if I go for lunch or if I take some break, so I may have to log off. Again, if I'm trying to log in, it should not trouble me with change password screen for the whole day. For the rest of the day, it should not trouble me. And I'll log off. And next day, again I log in. It might be like morning 10 o'clock or evening 4 o'clock, whatever it might be. If something is like new date, if I'm trying to log in with ID and password, no doubt whatever the yesterday's updated password, I'll use it. It will accept. And then again, it has to take me to change password screen. So this should be repeated for next 14 days for all the 10 members. This is the like mail what you'll get it from your manager today. You are supposed to fix it. Understood the scenario, everyone? Yes, right?
Yes, Chandra.
What about other scenario clear up?
Yes, Chandra.
Okay, so this is the real-time scenario what you'll get it. So if you are like a developer or production support member joined in this company, you'll get a single line of email from your client explaining the statement. And you should understand it clearly and you should get this fixed up. So what you have to do? So this is what you have to think. So for these 10 clerks, daily they have to change password meaning. When they'll get change password screen, by the way. So there must be an operator's table, no doubt in it. And all these 10 members should be like in 10 records there. And there will be something like PY change password on next login. This is what you will see. And you as a developer, if you wanted to know the column names, okay, you might not be given DB access, right? May or may not be, that depends. So if you are not given DB access, how to identify the respect to column names? Okay, for today I'm explaining you, that is fine. Maybe if something different table and if you're supposed to know the column names, so I'll show you something here itself. So you opened one operator ID, correct, right? You opened one operator ID. This is nothing but you opened one record of the table only, no? Now you wanted to look for its headings, nothing but these are like options. So there will be something called live UI. You don't know what is live UI still. I don't want to explain more about live UI today itself. So if I click on live UI, I can see something screen segregated and highlighted wherever I'm mouse over. So this is actually responsible for that, right? So can you see it is saying like PY change password on next login. So this is nothing but a heading in the table. Okay, that's fine. So now you are understanding something called PY change password on next login. For these 10 operators, if it made it as true, 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 whenever they log in, consider today is January 1st. If any of these 10 persons log in at any time, because of it's like true, so no doubt they will be getting changed password screen and they'll update it. Consider on January 1st morning 10 o'clock, I updated my own password and here password will be updated and immediately it has the tendency to update itself to false, right? Am I correct? If whenever we click on change password button, in database table, password will be updated. No doubt this flag will be turned to false. That is what we have clearly seen. So and this change password will not be disturbed for him for the whole day. And next day, whenever he is logging in, so it will be still kept as false. He will be continued with the older password only, which is not correct. So next day, whenever he is logging in, he must get change password, meaning this must be turned to true. Correct, right? This must be updated to true.
Yeah.
Meaning daily midnight 12 o'clock. Daily midnight 12 o'clock, all these must be turned to true. That is what you have to think about. Daily midnight 12 o'clock, this has to be automatically updated to true. So if this is the task given for you, what you will do? So you can log in at 12 o'clock. Okay, manually I'm talking about. So you will log in maybe from your home at 12 o'clock. You'll open operator instances. And here you can update or you can filter something like users. Only for the real users is what you have to do, right? So I'm trying to search with some filter, only users related part will be filtered, that's fine. And you'll open every operator ID and then you'll go to security and you'll mark this checkbox and you'll click on save. Similarly, for second record, you have to do, third record, you have to do, fourth record, you have to do. So this is what you have to do at midnight, 12 o'clock. So is this really possible to do manually? No, right? If I ask you to log in daily midnight, 12 o'clock for 5-10 minutes, it's difficult for you. And that too, if you are doing this manually, we cannot guarantee that this will be completed in the next 5 minutes itself. If there are like 100 records, if there are like 1,000 records, it is little difficult. So what you have to do is you are supposed to schedule something. So scheduling also between from January 1st to January 14th only. Okay, so you have to schedule. For that, there will be something called agents or job scheduler. So in interview, how to answer this is first we'll be creating one job scheduler, which is to be set between January 1st to January 14th, daily at midnight 12 o'clock, or maybe 5 days a week, Saturday and Sunday, our bank is closed. So what is the necessity of you updating on those 2 days? They'll not log in, right? So maybe Monday to Friday for next 2 weeks, we have to run one job scheduler and within which we have to schedule an activity. You don't know what is still activity. And within activity, you have to write some logic, right? In the sense, it's not about coding. You have to design some logic where to pull all the operator IDs from this table and updating this flag as like true, true, true. And next day, a person, if he's logging at 7 o'clock, not a problem. By that time, midnight, 12 o'clock, and this is updated to true, right? And another person, if he is logging at 4 p.m., no doubt it is updated to true by that time. So this is what you have to do. So clear with the scenario and understood the analysis, right? Yes, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So this is what. And now with this understanding, consider I am a Pega manager. So this example is purely about like client related managers, right? Now we are talking about like our Pega management. I'm the Pega manager. Consider you are like Pega team members. So in my team, total 10-member team, in my team, 9 members are like senior most developers like you. Maybe one person is like a fresher or beginner. He just completed BTech. He is also a developer, no doubt. He also should get development studio, but he is not like a full-length developer like you. Okay, so you will be created with an operator ID and you will be getting all the access. All the access meaning you can create a rule, you can delete a rule, you can modify, you can do anything. And this particular fresher candidate, he is also a developer. He also should get development studio, but he should get only view access. He should get only view access. View access meaning here I'm having like full length access, right? Meaning I can open anything and I can delete if required. I can save, I can make modifications it is required. And for any person like Rahul, who is like a beginner, okay, so for this Rahul, I don't want to give him something kind of modification access. He is supposed to just view, meaning after he opening any rule, he should not get delete option, he should not get save option. So this button should not be there. So he cannot make any changes, right? For that, if we can uncheck this checkbox, that is enough. Yellow rule checking out. So no modifications on any rule for him. For this operator level, we are trying to uncheck this, meaning he will be having only view access. So if this person is logging in, if he's trying to open any application or anything, he will be getting only view access. So this is one checkbox what you are seeing. If you are seeing this checkbox, no doubt it must be like a column into its respective table. So what is the column name? PY yellow rule checkout. Am I correct? It is like PY yellow rule checkout. Now, again, why am I saying this is, let me tell you one more real-time scenario. One more real-time scenario. Consider you are development team. and we are like real clients. We don't know anything about Pega. And consider I'm like part of Walmart. This is one big retail client, right? Okay, and this Walmart related application is developed with the Pega, and you are like production support team or development team here. So in our Walmart, generally customers will come and they'll try to choose different products, and we'll try to bill them and collect the cash. This is what the process is. Okay, and I'm the store manager here, and we are running some offers. That is, if any bill amount is between 0 to 5,000, we wanted to give them so 1,000 rupees instant discount. Maybe if it is between 5K to 10K, we wanted to give them 1,500 rupees instant discount. So we are running some offers. So this is running smoothly, our business is increasing. Now, as a store manager, what I decided is we have to increase this to something like 1,200. Getting my point? We have to get this increased to 1,200. So who has to make changes on this? No doubt you as a developer should do it, right? If I just drop an email to you saying like, if bill amount is between 0 to 5,000, currently it is 1,000 rupees, increase the discount to 1,200. This is the email I dropped to you. Okay. And I wanted to give this discount instantly. Okay. From the very next bill, whatever generating, if it is between this one, I wanted to get this. Okay. I dropped an email to you. It's almost like 10 minutes completed or half an hour completed. Still, you did not reply back to me. And the customers who are standing in queue, I'm asking them to wait. Please wait for 10 minutes. Some extra discount is getting applicable. My team is looking into it. So this is what I'm asking them to wait. So if I have some dependency on you and it is not guaranteed that you will be responding every time in time, right? So you might not look into that email correctly, or you might still working on that. Okay, after you making changes, you should check that other things should not be disturbed. And for that, you will be doing some unit testing from your end. And maybe after your development is done, maybe your testing team might test it thoroughly. And finally, you might reply back saying like these changes are implemented. So for every small change, wherever it is 1,000, if it is to be changed for 1,200, it's like very small change, right? It should not take more than a second generally. So even for every small change, if a client is dependent on the developer, so there might be like business impacted there. So that is where this client might request you to show me the respective place where to change this. So there is nothing much Pega knowledge required for this, right? So wherever 1,000, show me where I have to change it. Show me how to save it. That's it. That's it. So for that, you as a developer, what you'll do is you'll try to maintain one table. Let me show you different application. I'll show you some small thing. So if you are a developer, so you might be having some database tables and maintaining something like offer related part. So there might be a table like this. Okay. And maybe if it is between so 0 to 5,000 rupees, and customer if he is of like prime member, I wanted to give him 1,000 rupees. So this is like somewhere 1,000, and only change what you have to do is somewhere like 1,200 and save it, right? So this is pretty small thing. If something is maintained in such tabular way, and can't the real users make modifications? Obviously, yes. Okay, if the real user wanted to make such change, so they should access this development studio, which is pretty difficult. Which is pretty difficult. So here there will be two ways. So you can give them development studio access, meaning the real user, if he is trying to log in, he will get generally user portal, and based on his request, you can give them development studio access also, and you can give this particular rule access for them, and that too you should restrict with some options here. You should not give delete option for them. You'll see delete option for most of the things, right? You should not give delete option. So you should give only save option for that. Okay, they can make modifications. This is what. This is what. And here, what I'm finally trying to say here is the real users can access some part of development rules. Some part for their daily transactions, they should access some part of developer rules. So this we call it as data type or data table. So whatever the data table you are seeing for discounts, if it is delegated, this is a special concept in Pega. We call this as delegation. So if this particular thing is delegated to the real users, and real users, whenever they're logging in, they'll be getting this cashier portal or something like billing portal. And here they will be seeing some option called configuration. Okay, and if they are clicking on this one, they can see directly the respective data table. They can see the respective data table and they can modify it. So they can simply change this to 1500. That's it. That's it. Changes are done. Changes are done. So here this respective operator can access what a developer is doing from here. And that too, we wanted to give this changing options only between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. After 5 p.m., this person should not modify any of these rules because of some security reasons. So what you have to do, daily morning 9 o'clock, daily morning 9 o'clock, for that respective operator, this checkbox must be true. Am I correct? Yes, right?
Yep.
And daily 5 o'clock, if this is like false, he cannot make modifications. So extra checking out on any rule. So he might be given development studio access temporarily, or he might be given access for those rules in his portal itself, whatever. He's trying to access a table maybe from his portal or maybe from some part of development studio. He should not make any changes after 5 o'clock, despite it is delegated. After 5 o'clock, it must not be accessible. So again, you should run a job scheduler at sharp 5 o'clock, making this as false. I cannot take care of this manually, right? So two job schedulers must be there. Morning 9 o'clock, it must be kept as true and he can make changes from there on. And evening 5 o'clock, it must be kept as false. He cannot do further things. So these are all the things what we have to know. So finally, what I'm trying to say here is what are all the things we're trying to understand? Don't learn just for the sake of learning. So everything, it must be scenario based only. Maybe when you are like watching the recording or when you're practicing. So every time think yourself or question yourself, what might be the real time scenario on this? Okay. And if you are like currently working, maybe in Pega or maybe in some other projects or some other technologies, not a problem. Scenarios will be same, right? Everywhere scenarios will be same. So if I'm like a Walmart client, so this application might be developed on anything. I don't know about that. So I want this as the scenario. I want this particular rule to be delegated for me. So in Pega, how to delegate it? In Java, how to delegate? Maybe if this is running on .NET, how to delegate it? Everything you should clearly understand on your own. So you might be having 10 years of Python experience or Java experience. The scenarios will be same. So if you are trying to learn Pega today, you should compare all your industry experience with your Pega. So that is where you have to question yourself about all the scenarios. Okay, so no doubt after every topic, I'll give you any number of scenarios. And you should at least understand the scenarios in your early stage. Down the line, when we are practical understanding what is job scheduler, what is an activity, how to schedule it, and what is like database table, and what are its column names, and what is its class, what are its instances, what are its column names, everything. So you should at least understand scenarios from day one. That is what my intention is. So down the line, every topic or everything you should question yourself. No doubt I'll make you to question based on my discussion itself. Okay, and after you watching this recording maybe twice, so you will be getting cleared everything. Okay, so that is the reason from day one, scenario level wise, you have to learn everything. Okay, so clear, right? Any questions, anyone so far? Everyone clear? Yes, right? So we're understanding that there will be most advanced concepts called what is rule delegation and how to delegate certain rules. As I told you, everything is a rule in Pega. A table is a rule. Okay, maybe some kind of terms and conditions screen. Suppose here this 0 to 5,000 is like 1200 rupees discount, right? And that too, there will be some terms and conditions. That is, every product will not be applicable, and it will be applicable only for these products and this time range and this till dated, whatever. There might be some terms and conditions. And in terms and conditions, it is showing as due date as June 30. And my business is good, and I wanted to increase the due date. And it's again a pretty small thing, right? If I run behind you, if you are not responding in time, it might be like somewhere business impacting. Show me where it has to be updated. So I know how to change from June to July. That's it. You are a client, right? So you will be, maybe if I'm a client, I'll demand you. I don't know anything about Pega, but I'll demand you. So you should show me some means to get it modified. So for that, you will not give me development studio access. You have to do something for me for delegation. Okay, and that too, this delegation should happen only for next 15 days. How to cancel the delegated rules also. This is very important. Interest they'll ask you. So how to delegate a rule to a real user? Maybe if we are having 10 clerks, I want to delegate only for 2 of those clerks. These 2 are having little admin related knowledge. They might be very strong in Excel part, or they might be having some extra skills. So I want a rule to be delegated only for these 2 persons. How to do it? And I wanted to give this delegation access between 9 to 5 o'clock only. How to do this? And maybe till January 14th only, after 14th. So this person should never be getting this delegated option. How to cancel that rule delegated? So if this person is logging in, consider out of these 2 persons, if any person is logging in, did I close that? If any person is logging in, okay. So as I shown you, there will be something called configuration tab, right? So they can access it. They can access it. And this should not be available after 10 days, meaning how to delete it. How to delete it. So if I log in, if I could see maybe 10 rules which are delegated for me, maybe one table for discount changes, maybe one thing for terms and conditions, all these are like 10 delegated. So these 10, if it is showing for me, I'm a bank employee, you are also a bank employee. If it is delegated for me, only I'll get. You will not get it, right? You will not get it. So these 10 rules, if it is showing it for me, no doubt there must be a database table maintaining these 10 records, correct? Okay, apart from PR operators table, apart from history table, there will be hundreds of tables. One such table will be with the name my rules. Okay.
So,
So this,
Chandra, even this user, whatever the configuration changes he is doing, right, that
Hmm.
also will be captured in the PR history operator, or you have some other table where the
Okay. Okay.
changes, whatever you do, it
So,
captures.
yeah. So, I'm a developer one. Okay. You are developer two and person developer three. So I created a table. Consider I created a table and I created a table with 10 records. Okay. And you can open that rule. And if you're adding 10 more, so overall table will be, is it with the 10 or 20? You tell me. It must be 20, right?
Yeah, 20,
And another person, if he's adding 10 more, overall it must be like
30.
30, right?
Yeah.
And some other person, he might be user of whatever it is, he's a developer. Sorry, he's an operator, right?
Mhm.
He's trying to open, he's adding 10 more. So will this not impact the main one? Yes, right?
Yes.
So there will be one main table for this. Whoever is accessing doesn't matter. So there will be a table watching this history. So there will be one main table 40 records and one connected table for history. These two are interlinked. So if you log in and do, or if I log in and do, doesn't matter. We are making modifications equally on that table. Makes sense, right? Correct, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. Okay, so what I'm saying, okay, so there will be a table related to something like delegated, and there will be one history also. So what is this table, how to delete from here, and what might be its class name, what are the instances, everything you have to correlate and understand clearly. Okay, fine. So these are all the possible scenarios for today's discussion. Okay, fine. And And yesterday, let me refresh my any extra changes. Okay, that's fine. Let me close everything. Okay, yesterday we just created one framework application, and no doubt it is taking me to the same. And here, if I click on definition, you should see this also as a rule. And here you can see its ID, and this is its name. As we understood, ID and name need not be same. Need not be same. This is something different, right? And I can modify this if I wanted, and I can never modify this. Okay, this is what you're trying to do. And with this understanding, you should create one implementation application also. Okay, so that we'll do it tomorrow. But for today, I'll ask you one scenario level or one normal question. You try to answer this. Our project, something city, which has got banking framework, which has got insurance framework, and this has got credit card application, loans application, accounts application, and this is something like medical insurance, property insurance, maybe like vehicle insurance. So this is our existing design. So you are a developer joining today, and you are given with credit card access. Okay, and your client is your client is asking you to, maybe you are like senior most or you are like well experienced guy. Okay, your client is asking you to create a new application here, maybe with the name, something insurance or different XYZ insurance. One different application is what he's trying to create, asking you to create. So you are available here and you are supposed to create this one. Now tell me, for creating this XYZ application, where you have to log in and where you have to create. No doubt you have to, no doubt you have to use this as the navigation, that we know. But what I'm asking is where you have to log in. So here this is banking related. After you logging in, you'll see city credit card. Am I correct? There, if you're trying to create a new application, is this correct? I want to create a new application under this insurance. Where I have to log in?
Insurance.
Insurance framework.
Insurance framework.
It's in insurance framework, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So can't I log in into this Pega platform? At the top, you'll see Pega platform, correct?
Yes.
So if I log in into Pega platform, and if I'm trying to create a new application, what is the screen you'll get? You'll see something like build from
Build from scratch.
and remaining frameworks by that time. You'll see only these two there, correct? Enough?
Yeah.
You'll see only those two. And if I select insurance, and then it will ask me what is the new application name. I'll give XYZ. Now, is XYZ not created under insurance? Meaning, am I not creating this by logging in from here? Yes.
ఖరాబ్ చేసుకుంటున్నావు
Yes,
ఇబ్బంది
right.
లేకపోతే మొహం పడుకో
Okay, please go on. So understood my question, right? So what I'm trying to say here is to create any application in any corner. So this is your client. So this is something like wide range of applications. So in any corner, if you wanted to create an application, you can log in it anywhere. You can log in anywhere. Ideally speaking, this and this are not at all connected. But still, you can log in here. And if you can click on this one, no doubt you'll see something as build from scratch. Sorry. You'll see something as build from scratch, and you should see all the remaining frameworks by that time. So you'll see build from scratch and something banking framework and insurance framework. Can't I select insurance framework? And then it will ask me what is the application. Can't I select XYZ? Can't I select implementation? Is this application not created from here? Yes. So meaning to create a new application, you can log in anywhere. Why? Because every application is directly or indirectly derived from Pega platform only. So I can directly log in and create the same. I can log in here and create the same. So if I log in and do this, it doesn't mean that these two applications are connected. So you could create a new application by linking to the respective framework. So tomorrow we'll understand creating one implementation application. So far we just created one framework, right? We'll try to create one implementation. This I can log in with the current framework or even Pega platform also, doesn't matter. So doesn't matter. Tomorrow we'll do this. After we creating implementation, then we'll start designing our actual screens. Okay, after this is done tomorrow, so I'll tell you what you have to do in project number 2 and project number 3. So here also you have to create applications, right? With what name, what must be framework name, what must be implementation name. Here what must be organization, framework and implementation. I'll guide you on these two projects. Okay, so these also to be running parallelly. Okay, clear, right? Any questions or doubts for today's session? Today much practical things not happen, but very important discussions are these are. Okay, we will not waste 1 minute also in our class hours. Every point is like more productive. Okay, so if we can understand all these things more productively, you might be having Pega experience today. Still you might join. So every point will be something new for you. I challenge that. Okay, so everything is like more productive. Try to attend every session in live. Try to attend live class. Okay, maybe if you guys are somewhere in different time zone, not a problem. So try to watch the recording and then you can call me for any kind of doubts. It might be scenario level or whatever it is, you can just call to our number and you can directly talk to me for any kind of doubts. Okay, and maybe if you could not able to practice on daily basis, at least try to concentrate on weekly basis. Saturdays and Sundays. There are even n number of people from different batches. They're trying to do most thing on Saturdays itself and Saturdays or Sundays itself. Okay, my suggestion is to at least cover everything on weekly basis. And once in 2 weeks, so you are like supposed to give mock interviews. We'll schedule it for you also. You need not think anything how the process will be. We'll schedule everything for you. And you should not miss everything. There will try to check for your communication part. Okay, and there will try to even check for scenario level part. So there will be different type of people, right? So few people might be pretty new for Pega and few might not even have industry experience. Few might be having 10 years of industry experience and few might be having already Pega experience. Okay, but still they wanted to learn something high level. So based on your level itself, we'll take mock interview. Okay, so based on the high level or maybe like 3 years level if you wanted to go out or maybe like fresher level, whatever it is, if you just tell us your background during your mock interview, then we'll take mock interview according to that. So this is where it should be. Okay. Clear, right? Hope today's session is like clear. Any questions, anyone? No, right? Clear, Andaru?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chandra.
Thank you, everyone.